Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. Right now we're gonna do the daily teachings. We're gonna do two daily teachings right now, and then I'm gonna do two readings from the Santa Muerte Bible that we put together. So I'm gonna do two readings of the Santa Muerte Bible. I'm gonna do chapter one, first truth, and chapter one, second truth. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now shortly. Um, so just so we're in the clear here. This Bible is not a Bible that is a Santa Muerte church Bible. It's a Bible that I put together. I've been doing it for about I don't know if it's 3 to 5 years, trying to finish this Bible for devoted people, and it's gonna be um, a Bible for Santa Muerte and God. It's gonna be 13 books. Each book will have 13 chapters. All right. So this is gonna be a labor of love, as they say. So we're gonna start today with doing the first two chapters of the the first book, and I'll be reading them every so often. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna release each book independently, or I don't know if I should release them all together like a big book. It's gonna be chapter book one is gonna be like the beginning, like Genesis, Revelations type situation, and then we're gonna go into teachings that go beyond just the regular Bible biblical stuff. This is a book based on Santa Muerte and God as the ultimate power and creator, and Santa Muerte being a energy that works through him and under him. So this Bible has been something I've been writing for about 3 to 5 years, to be honest with you. I've always said I was going to release it. I think this is a year to try to set it off. So I'm going to do the first two chapters of book one right now. I mean, the first two, not chapters, but the first two truths. So the way it's going to be, um, the way it's gonna break down is like this. Each book, there'll be 13 books in this Bible. The 13 books will have 13 chapters. Each chapter will have 8 truths. So it's gonna be like each chapter might pretty much be like, or each, yeah, like each chapter in the book will probably be the length of a book. I don't know why I'm complicating this shit for myself. But again, so we're gonna start doing that. Um, so you guys can let me know how it works or how you guys interpret it. So I'm gonna start today with the teachings. So I'm gonna get through this really quick. So let's start with the taste teachings. Um, so today we're gonna do La Santa Muerte teaching, day 23 and 24. 23 is gonna be silence, stillness, and why you shouldn't force communication. And then 24, did I do that one already? Hold on. I might have done this one already. My bad. My bad. So maybe I'll do one. I think I already did that one. I think I already did that one. So let's not do that one again. Let me just make sure that I didn't do it already. I think I did it already. Daily teachings. I did that one already. My bad. So we're gonna go into another teaching. I guess I messed up. So we did that one already. So we're gonna do Santa Muerte daily teachings. Day 24, alter location, placement, and why it actually matters. All right, this is going to be teaching about where to place your altar, and why it matters. Let me see before I. Or should I jump into the Bible? What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys want to know. You guys ready? Yeah, I got them, but it was only two tacos, man. I thought you could get unlimited. I got two tacos. What do you guys think? Should we do the daily teaching and then do two Bible verses? I'm gonna do chapter 1 again, verse 1, or chapter 1 first truth, and then chapter 2 second truth. Should we do the teaching first, or should we do the Bible? Yeah, there was a limit. On February 3rd, there was 75-cent tacos at Jack in the Box. And my big ass went and go get some tacos, and there was only two per client. I was like, man, fuck this. Two. They were good though. I ain't gonna lie. I still ate those motherfuckers. I was complaining, but I ate them. Anyways, let's do the teaching then real quick. All right, let's do the teaching, and then we'll go into other stuff. All right. I'm gonna do the teaching, then I'm gonna do the Bible chapter 1, first truth, then chapter 1 second truth. All right. Again, the Bible is pretty much finished. The one that I made, it's going to be 13 books. Each book will have 13 chapters. Each chapter will be broken down in 8 segments. So 13, just so we're clear, all right, anyone that lives in California or anywhere in the United States, the 13 is not is not associated with any kind of gang or Southern Sureño type thing. The 13 is one of the number that correlates with Santa Muerte. All right. I know I've gotten some slack from some people from Northern California about the 13. And the 13 to Santa Muerte does not is not a Sureño thing. It's not. I swear on God and Santita Muerte, the 13 reflects her number. That's why. Not because of any gang ties or whatever. It's not that. And you guys could look it up so you guys don't think I'm bullshitting you. The 13, I guess, is her number. You know, good luck, bad luck, omens, whatever. Take it how you want to take it. It is not meant to be a number to cause division, but the books that I'm releasing will be 13 books. Each book will have 13 chapters, and each chapter will be broken down in 8 segments. Each segment will be called the truth. The 8 is a number of infinity. All right. So everything is done with a little bit of thought behind it. So it's 13 books, 13 chapters with 8 segments in each chapter that breaks down into a whole lot of fucking writing. But again, there's thought behind this. So it's not just, oh, I wanted to do 8 different segments because that's the infinite number. It's the signal, turn it sideways, it's infinity. And that's what we're heading towards. All right. So let me do this Santa Muerte daily teaching. Then I'll do the first 2 segments of chapter 1 from the Bible. All right, here we go. La Santa Muerte daily teachings. Day 24. Altar location, placement, and why it actually matters. spoken under God Almighty, and La Santísima Muerte. This is structure, not superstition, not fear, not decoration. This teaching matters because altar placement is one of the first places devotion quietly goes wrong. Not because people are malicious, not because they lack faith, not because they are being disrespectful on purpose. It goes wrong because people rush. They copy what they see. They listen to superstition instead of understanding. They let fear or convenience decide placement instead of intention. An altar is not furniture. It is not decor. It is not something you hide or display depending on what or who is watching. Placement is posture, and posture determines alignment long before prayer ever begins. First hard truth. Where you place your altar reflects how you understand authority. If you hide it out of fear, that matters. If you shove it into a corner, that matters. If you place it where chaos lives, that matters. La Santísima Muerte does not demand luxury. She does not demand excess. She does not demand perfection. But she does require intention, order, and respect. An altar placed without thought sends mixed signals, and mixed signals create mixed results. This is not punishment. This is structure, responding honestly. What an altar location is supposed to do. An altar location is meant to create focus, stability, consistency, respect, separation from daily chaos. It is a point of alignment, not a display piece. When you approach the altar, your body and mind should naturally shift. Gears should stop. If the space is loud, cluttered, interrupted, or treated casually, that shift never fully happens. The work does not fail, it weakens. And weak work confuses people. Where an altar should generally be. Let's strip away superstition and keep this practical. A solid altar location is stable, clean, not constantly walked past, not used as storage, not treated like an afterthought, not in the center of ongoing conflict. It can be a shelf, a small table, a dedicated corner, a cabinet, opened intentionally. Size does not determine respect. Consistency does. A small, clean, intentional space works better than a large, chaotic one every time. About bedroom altars. This always causes debate. So let's be clear. A bedroom altar is not forbidden. It is not sinful. It is not automatically harmful. But it requires maturity and discipline. A bedroom holds rest, intimacy, emotion, dreams, and vulnerability. If your emotions are unstable, your sleep is disturbed, or your boundaries are weak, a bedroom altar can amplify that instability. Not because La Santa Muerte is harmful, because you are blending spaces without structure. If you are grounded, calm, consistent, and disciplined, a bedroom altar can work just fine. If you are anxious, obsessive, fearful, or constantly seeking reassurances, place the altar outside the bedroom until you stabilize. That is not rejection. That is self-awareness. Places you should think twice about. Some locations repeatedly cause issues because people ignore common sense. Be cautious with kitchens dominated by heat, grease, and constant activity. Bathrooms where disposal and cleansing overlap daily. Placing an altar directly on the floor without intention. Areas near trash, clutter, or neglected items. Shared spaces where the altar is mocked, touched, or disrespected. This is not mystical paranoia. You would not place something meaningful where it is casually disrespected. Sacred space follows the same logic. Visibility versus hiding. Some people hide their altar out of fear. Some hide it because of family or living situations. Some hide it because they are unsure of themselves. An altar does not need to be public, but it should not be hidden out of shame. There is a difference between privacy and hiding. Privacy is intentional and calm. Hiding is reactive and fearful. La Santa Muerte responds to clarity, not anxiety. If your altar must be private, keep it clean, intentional, and respected. That is enough. Altar height and position. This matters more than people realize. An altar should not feel like something you casually look down on or brush past. It does not need to be high. It does not need to feel deliberate. If approaching the altar naturally slows you down, that is correct. If it feels like background furniture, correct it. Posture shapes mindset. Mindset shapes devotion. Devotion shapes outcome. What happens when placement is wrong? When altar placement is off, people often experience distraction during prayer, lack of focus, irritation or restlessness, inconsistent devotion, the feeling that nothing lands. Then they blame signs, spirit, or outside forces. Most of the time, the issue is not spiritual at all. It is structural. Fix the placement. Then reassess everything else. Moving an altar is not disrespect. This needs to be said clearly. You are allowed to move an altar. Relocation done with respect is not offensive. It is maturity. As your life changes, your space changes, and your understanding deepens. Your structure improves. Clean the altar. Speak clearly. Move with intention. La Santa Muerte does not punish growth. Final truth. An altar is not powerful because of where it sits. It is powerful because of how it is treated. Placement reflects posture. Posture reflects alignment. Alignment determines clarity. Choose a space that supports discipline, not distraction. Respect, not fear. Consistency, not impulse. Everything else builds from there. All of this unfolds under the authority of God Almighty, and La Santísima Muerte moves only by his permission. Sit with this teaching. If the foundation is crooked, nothing above it stands straight. All right. I'm going to do that teaching over. I felt I was pausing too much. I'm going to do it over and do some tweaks. I think I got to do some tweaks on that. I'm not going to post this one on Patreon yet. I'm going to redo it. I rushed this one. I can tell. I need to do that one over. But the overall lesson is clear. There are people that create altar spaces in shared locations. And if the altar is not being respected by those in that space, think about moving it to a more private location. If you hide it because you want to be private, that's okay. If you hide it because you're embarrassed of it, that's not okay. If you find that you're embarrassed about your devotion to Santa Muerte, then you should not be having an altar. If you have an altar, it's because you're ready for that devotion. And you shouldn't hide it out of shame or embarrassment. But that's pretty much, a lot of people do have that, hidden shame when they have an altar. It's not something to be shamed about. It's something to hold up high. A lot of people say you shouldn't have an altar in your room. I don't think so. I think it's fine. This altar behind me is in my room. People say, "Oh, well, that's a place where you're intimate, where you rest, where you stay." As long as your energy is good, it's okay. And I'm gonna say this, and this is truth. How many of you people grew up in a house where they had like a Virgin Mary in the bedroom, a Jesus, a San Judas, and they still got their freak on? Your parents still got their freak on. Your parents still had intercourse. Your parents still fucked around, all right? We're all adults here, I hope. So having a sacred space in your room can be calming. For me, it gives me peace. Having this in my bedroom gives me peace and it gives me clarity. Now, I'm going to say this clearly just so you guys understand. My bed is off to the side. If shit goes down here, intimacy is part of life. They know we're intimate. And even if you're behind closed doors with nothing, they know what we're doing. It's not shameful to be intimate with somebody. It's not shameful to be intimate in front of any spiritual anything, because again, most of us grew up in areas. Well, I grew up in a Hispanic household, Mexican household. And after me and my brother, I got two more sisters, and in my mom's bedroom, my dad's bedroom, there was a Virgen de Guadalupe. There was a Jesus that looks at you when you move. All that shit was there. It didn't matter. They still, had, children. So again, if you have an altar space in your room, let's say that's the best location in the house, put it in there. Just be respectful. That's all that matters. The respect you give it is what really matters. And again, you could be intimate in your bedroom. You could be intimate in your living room. You could be fucking intimate anywhere in your house. It doesn't matter where you're going to be intimate. If the energy is there, they know. And they know we fucking fornicate. It's not a big deal. Sexuality is nothing to be ashamed of. Sexuality is nothing to be hiding. It is not that serious. They know we have carnal things going on, so it doesn't matter. So placement depends on you. If you have space in your bedroom, in your living room, in a cabinet somewhere, that's fine. But never do your altar out of shame. Don't hide it out of shame. Like some people have it in the closet and they close the doors because when someone comes over, they're embarrassed to have this in their room or their house. Whatever you believe in, if you believe in this, if you're Catholic, if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, if you're Christian, if you're Buddhist, if you're a Wiccan, if you are a Luciferian, whatever you are called to believe and follow, don't be ashamed and don't hide it in shame. Wear your spirituality proudly wherever you are. Be proud of your spirituality. Now, in that same breath, I say to you, if people glare at it with disdain and with ire, then you want to not have her around that energy. So you want to be a bit more respectful of her location if people are going to look down on her. So placement does matter. All right, intention matters. I'm gonna tell you what doesn't matter. Size don't matter. If you have a small altar, a big altar, it don't mean nothing. It only means you probably have a bigger space, or you live somewhere smaller, or you don't got. Size don't matter. Size does not equal devotion. Size does not equal preference. It's the energy. Remember this, guys. Or maybe you ladies should know this, because guys already know it's not the size that matters, it's how you use it. But again, I digress. Size of the altar does not matter. Size does not matter. All right? Wowie. Oh, we're adults here, right? We could do a little bit of humor. It's okay. It's okay. Right? Size don't matter. You could have a big altar, a small altar. What matters is the energy you put into it. That's all that matters. And at the end of the day, that's really what matters. Pink Moon Tunes. What's up, Pink Moon Tunes? How are you? All right. So look, I'm gonna redo that teaching because I didn't like the way it felt. I rushed that one. I'm gonna have to redo it. It didn't feel like it was very cohesive. I messed up a few words because it didn't flow right. So I'm gonna do that one over. But overall, you get the gist of it, right? I'll do it again, maybe tomorrow or Monday. I apologize. Thank you, La Bruja. May you be blessed now forever. Santa Muerte protect you and God guide you. And thank you for my people watching right now on YouTube. Thank you to my TikTok followers. I know I've been a little bit inconsistent with my timing on what time I get on and what time I don't. But the reason why I did today's teaching is for those that were following me for the last few months, weeks, or years, the statue that I had here behind me the last few days that was red and black, I finally put her in her space. What's up, Lady Phoenix? How are you? I finally put her in the location she's going to go at. I will no longer show that statue on a live probably ever again. That statue was found in an alley, broken and shattered. She had no hands. Her head was broken off, and she was dumped in an alley. Somebody called me, and we moved around. Like I live in Riverside County now, so beautiful. I'm blessed. It's me, Maria. How are you? Thank you so much for that, Phoenix, Lady Phoenix. May you be blessed now forever. Santa Muerte protect you and God guide you. Hey, it's me, Maria. Thank you. So that statue was broken, and someone let me know on the live. I asked people if they were near South Central LA, and people want to go get her. Hey, La Bruja, may you blessed now forever. May Santa Muerte protect you and God guide you. And they went and picked her up. They didn't find her hands. They didn't find like certain pieces, but they found her body and her head. Hey, Juga, oh, was that Jugalu? So I brought her home. Someone picked her up. Then I went to LA to pick her up the following day, and then I brought her home. And then two of my followers came and picked her up, and they fixed her for me. David and Ariel did me the favor of picking her up. They came from San Diego to my house. They picked her up, and then they brought her back last weekend. I had her on this main altar for a week so she can sort of start to sort of go with the energy here. But I said when I brought her, when I got her, she was going to be on the altar for about 3 days or a week. Then I was going to give her her own location. Her energy is going to be that of correction, of justice, of reversal of negative energy. Because of her story, that statue is going to become a beacon of justice, in other words. So I'm going to do all the hard work and all the hard trabajos through her. Does that make sense? So that's going to be how we get down with her. So that statue in particular, I will never show again on a live. I will never show her again on the live because I want her energy to stay pure and strong. And I don't want no one to ever fucking like, yeah, she's going to be a reversible, a justiciera. She's red and black. She's down to attack. So, so it's going to be on and popping. Again, like, so because of that story behind it, I decided to make her, a statue for justice and sending back negative energy. So all of the works that I do, they're going to be like sort of in that area. It's all going to go right there. So this altar will not be seen by anyone on a live unless people come here. I'm not done with it yet. But she's up in the corner behind the cameras. I put her as high as I possibly could because I wanted her to look down and be able to see things clearly. Oh, I used to be a rapper when I was a kid. I used to be a rapper when I was a teenager. I was a I was a thug and I rapped basic shit, you know what I mean? Um, but that's why I decided to make her red and black because I wanted her because of her story, her origin. Um, thank you so much, Pink Moon Tunes. Because of her story and origin, I decided to make her that. So from this point on, any trabajo that's heavy is going to go to that altar. And here's the thing: is I want people to understand that every color variation, all the statues, they're not different energies. They're one and the same, but they manifest it in a different way depending on how you call upon it. So just so we're clear, I have different altars for different things and different energy levels, but it's all going to the same location for adjustment or for petitioning. To me, I work with Santa Muerte and God, nothing else. I don't be bandwagoning this shit. You know what I mean? I'm a devoted no, I'm a devoted Santa Muerte follower. Like everything I do is through her and God. Like I don't be doing, bandwagon shit. That's not how I get down. Um, and again, like I know there's people that claim to be devoted to her and they work with other energies, and that's fine, to each their own. But for me, I only work with her. My devotion is to her and God, and that's it. I honor La Virgencita de Guadalupe. I have a Saint Michael in my house, a Virgen. I have a Saint Judas. I got, of course, the crucifix and everything. But with like San Judas, Saint Michael, La Virgen, I do no work with them. I just, I respect that sort of energy. Con Dios y la Santa Muerte delante, ¿quién contrario uno? Nah. Again, like yo me siento bien protegido con ella. Like this is what I'm gonna tell you guys, and this is the truth. And I don't want you guys to think, he's talking shit. If you petition Santa Muerte for anything, right? Let's say you petition her for because your roads are closing, and you feel like you need your roads to open again. If you petition her and you're not, let's say, comfortable enough to let time and the work come out of it, and you, like, let's say, are impatient and you start praying to other things because you're not patient or you don't trust that she can handle it, you're going to offend her. Like, I know people that pray to Santa Muerte and they pray to like Oshun and they pray to San Judas and they throw everything at the wall, see what sticks. You're not just offending Santa Muerte, you're offending every energy because you're saying to them, I don't think you can fucking help me. So I'm gonna fucking tell Santa Muerte, but I'm gonna have backup just in case she can't handle it. That's how I feel that works. So again, like for people that pray to multiple cosmic beings or multiple like deities, you're saying to one and the other, I don't think it helped me. I don't think you can do the work. I don't think you got this. It's like if you hire a hitman and then you go pay someone else because you don't trust the first hitman that you got. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how are you gonna hire two people to come fix your plumbing? How are you gonna hire three people to go and fucking like mow your lawn? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, bro, sometimes I'm deep and sometimes I'm deep in shit, right? But I think to me that's truth. To me that is truth. If I ask Santa Muerte for something, I'm not gonna go ask anybody else because I don't think she could pull through. I'll be patient. I know she got my back. I know she has me. And if I don't get it, it's because I don't deserve it or there's something I have to learn. And again, I'm gonna tell you, Jugalu Fam 979, nothing has been as redeeming as her energy for me. And hopefully with you and everyone else that's here, it's an energy that just is redemption. It's redemption. It completes you. It holds you up. It nestles you against positivity and strength and power. The way I feel about her, no one can ever tell me otherwise. Thank you for that. La Fabis 80. May you be blessed now forever. Santa Muerte protect you and God guide you. So again, to my people on YouTube and TikTok, I'm gonna say this: when you petition any cosmic being, any angelic form, any like anything that's cosmic, angelic, don't petition multiple energies. That's you showing no faith. Like if I ask Santa Muerte to heal me, and I then go ask San Judas and San Benito and all these other energies, I go ask Oshun and Elegua, and that's me telling Santa Muerte, I don't think you fucking help me. You can't. So I gotta go hire other people because I have no faith in you. So whatever it is you believe in, and let's say you're not devoted, all right? Let's say you're not devoted and you're looking for your path or you're looking for salvation. I guess that's okay because you just don't know. But if you claim to be devoted to something, you must honor that devotion and you must honor time and be patient. Sometimes we don't get the things we need like that because we're not deserving of it. Because there might be an issue that we have to fix. When people come to me for work, I say, look, let's fix this, and this. I'm not going to fill your head with bullshit. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. There's people that come asking for love and, oh, I want a love spell and I want blah, 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 and I want love to come to me. But they haven't fixed their issues. They haven't worked on all the traumas they have. They haven't released the last pain or the last betrayal. So when they get into a new relationship, it falls apart because they weren't ready yet. I'm not going to sell people on some bullshit. I'd rather be honest and lose business than be fucking deceitful and try to fucking be scandalous. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to doing the work, you can do the work, but you got to do it from a foundational point. If you are in a bad relationship and you jump out of that and you want to jump in another one, first you got to fix the issue. That's plain and simple. All right, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now and I'm gonna do the Bible stuff. All right. Hey Kenya, how are you? Thank you for that. May you be blessed now forever. May Santa Muerte protect you and God guide you. All right. So, I'm gonna do the Bible, chapter 1, first truth. Then I'm gonna do chapter 1, second truth. All right. And this is the Bible. I'm still trying to find a way to sell it digitally or make copies of it. It's a lot of pages, Kenya. The printer you got me is not gonna handle it. I'll go through one ink thing on the first try. So I'm gonna see if I sell it digitally or what. But this is the first book. All right, chapter 1. All right, you guys ready? Give me some likes if you want to hear this shit. All right, give me some love, give me some thumbs up or whatever if you guys want to hear this. If not, then fuck it, I'll just go do some other shit. I'm just kidding. If you guys can do me a favor, share the screen. Give me some likes. If you guys like what you're hearing, you guys could donate. What's up, Josie? How are you? All right, I'll stay. Josie. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to read chapter 1, first truth. All right. Then I'm going to do chapter 1, second truth. Each chapter is going to have 8 segments. There'll be 13 chapters. There'll be 13 books. All right. So I'm going to do this like once a day or once every time I can. All right. But I will be selling this Bible soon. Thank you so much, Kenya. Be blessed now forever. So let's start with this. All right, here we go. Chapter 1, First Truth. God before all things. Before there was a beginning, God was. Before time learned how to move forward, God was already complete. Before light had a place to shine, before darkness had a name, before the heavens were stretched wide or the earth was given form, God was. Nothing stood beside him. Nothing advised him. Nothing preceded him. God did not emerge. God did not evolve. God did not arrive from somewhere else. God simply is. All that exists comes from him, through him, and remains held by him. Not because he struggles to hold it, but because existence itself cannot remain without his will sustaining it. Creation does not support God. God supports creation. Before there were languages to shape sound into meaning, God was. Before names were assigned to power, God was. Before people gathered and formed traditions, before temples were raised or altars carved, before laws were written or institutions claimed authority, God was already sovereign. God does not belong to any religion. Religions belong to people. God does not need a house built by hands. The universe itself rests within his command. God does not depend on belief to exist. Belief is how humans learn to face what already exists. When people speak of God using different names across cultures and time, they are not speaking of different sources. They are reaching toward the same eternal creator with limited words. Names change, God does not. God existed before stories were written about him. God existed before prophets were sent to speak on his behalf. God existed before symbols were formed to represent him. And when all symbols fade, God will still be. There is no force above him. There is no power that rivals him. There is no hidden authority operating outside his awareness. Everything that moves, moves because he allows it. Everything that rests, rests because he sustains it. God is not confused. God does not hesitate. God does not lose control. What appears to humans as chaos is not chaos to God. What feels like disorder is often part of a larger order unseen by limited eyes. God does not rush to correct what time itself will resolve under his design. From God comes life. From God comes law. From God comes truth. Truth is not created by agreement. Truth exists because God exists. Justice is not invented by societies. Justice flows from God's nature. Love is not a feeling that fades. Love is an expression of God's will toward creation. God does not act out of need. He acts out of intention. Creation was not accidental. Existence was not a mistake. Humanity was not an afterthought. Every breath taken by every living being occurs within a system God already understood before the first moment unfolded. God does not learn as time progresses. Time unfolds within God's knowing. Nothing surprises him. Before there were divisions among people, God was. Before borders were drawn, God was. Before power was abused and authority corrupted, God was righteous and unchanged. Human institutions rise and fall. Empires expand and collapse. Belief systems are formed, defended, and sometimes weaponized. God remains untouched by all of it. When people misuse God's name to dominate, God is not confused with them. When people claim authority, God did not grant. God does not lose authority. When people distort truth to serve fear, God does not become distorted. God stands separate from human error while remaining present within human suffering. He sees the oppressed. He hears the unheard. He weighs every action not by appearance, but by intention and consequence. God is patient, but patience should not be mistaken for absence. God is merciful, but mercy should not be mistaken for permission. God allows time so that truth may surface fully, not so that wrongdoing escapes accountability. Everything that exists answers to God, whether it acknowledges Him or not. Life answers to God. Death answers to God. Power answers to God. Even forces, human fears, are not outside His command. God alone defines what is sacred. Humans only recognize it after the fact. When God created, He did not lose power. He did not divide Himself. He did not weaken. Creation did not drain Him. It expressed His will. He spoke and existence responded. Light did not argue. Matter did not resist. Time did not delay. And when humanity was formed, it was not placed above God, nor abandoned by Him. Humanity was placed within order, within boundaries, within consequence, and within care. God did not create to be worshipped out of fear. God created so that life could exist in alignment. Worship is not flattery. Worship is recognition of an order. To recognize God is to recognize position. God above all, creation beneath His authority, everything in its place. When people forget this order, confusion follows. When people attempt to place themselves above God, imbalance grows. When fear replaces understanding, truth becomes distorted. This is why God must be established first. Not argued for, not defended, established. God before all things, God above all things, God within all things. Nothing comes before Him. Nothing stands equal to Him. Nothing replaces Him. From this truth, all understanding must flow. Without it, everything fractures. Within it, everything finds its proper place. This is the foundation. This is the beginning. This is the order that cannot be overturned. God was before all things, and God remains when all things pass. And so it is. That is chapter 1, first truth. There'll be 8 segments and just so you guys understand, this is a Santa Muerte Bible. But we got to begin at the beginning of all things, okay? So it's going to progress. So this is, thank you, Kenya. May be blessed. Thank you for that. I'm going to ask you guys, all right? For those that can help me make this a possibility, donations are helpful. Tithings are helpful. Gifts are helpful. I want to make this grow. I want to do this for real. This is not a pastime for me. This is true spiritual devotion, and I am in it for the long run. This is who I am. This is how I will die, and this is where my faith is. All right? So for those people that can, that are okay financially and wish to help a motherfucker out to make these things possible, I appreciate it. All right, let's get into the second one. Chapter 1, second truth. Creation as order, not accident. When God created, He did not act without thought, nor did He release the world into motion and step away. Creation was not a sudden burst without meaning. It was not chaos that later learned how to behave. Creation came from forth already carrying order within it. God does nothing by mistake. What exists does so because God intended it to exist, and because it was placed where it belongs. Nothing arrived early, nothing arrived late, nothing arrived without purpose. Before life appeared, there was intention. Before movement began, there was design. Before time learned to pass from moment to moment, God had already measured it. Light was not created merely so things could be seen. Light was created to separate, to reveal, to govern rhythm. Day and night were not inventions of survival. They were boundaries, rest and labor, growth and pause, visibility and concealment, all placed in balance. Darkness was not a mistake either. Darkness was given a role. It was not evil. It was the space where rest occurs, where seeds form, where silence allows wisdom to settle. God did not create light to destroy darkness, but to give it its proper place. Life itself was not rushed into being. It unfolded in stages, not because God needed time, but because order teaches meaning. Each stage prepared the next. Each layer supported what followed. Water was set where it belongs. Land was revealed where it was meant to stand. Living things were given limits, cycles, and ways to reproduce so that life would continue without collapse. Nothing was random. When plants were created, they were given seed within themselves, not dependence, but continuation. When animals were created, they were given instinct, not confusion, but direction. When humanity was created, it was given awareness, not dominance, but responsibility. Time was established not as a cage, but as a teacher, because cause and effect could not be understood. Action could now carry weight. Growth could now be recognized. Without time, there is no learning. Without consequence, there is no wisdom. Without order, there is no peace. God did not create humans as the center of everything. He created them within everything, within law, within rhythm, within consequence. What people often call freedom was never meant to be separation from order. True freedom exists inside all alignment. When a thing functions as it was designed, it thrives. When it resists its design, it breaks itself. Fire burns because it was created to burn. Water flows because it was created to move. Seeds grow because they were created to rise from darkness into light. And humans were created to live within truth. When people reject order, they do not become free. They become unstable. When they deny consequence, they do not escape judgment. They invite disorder. God did not create law to punish life. God created law to protect it. Gravity is not cruel. Seasons are not unfair. A seed buried in soil is not being harmed. All of it follows order. Life grows, matures, declines, and returns. This is not failure. This is completion. What does not change becomes stagnant. What refuses to end becomes destructive. God did not create endless accumulation. He created circulation. Even the stars move according to command. Even the oceans obey boundaries. Even time itself answers to God. What humans often fear is not order, but the loss of control. Yet control was never given to creation. Stewardship was. God's intention was never confusion. Confusion enters when creation tries to govern itself apart from God. When people forget that they are participants, not authors, imbalance begins. Suffering is often the result of resisting order. not the presence of it. When people ignore rhythm, the body weakens. When people deny consequence, society fractures. When people remove meaning from life, fear grows. God did not create life to wander aimlessly. Every life was placed within a system that teaches responsibility, humility, and awareness. Birth leads to growth. Growth leads to decision. Decision leads to consequence. Consequence leads to understanding. This is not cruelty. This is instruction. The earth itself teaches its truth. What is planted incorrectly does not thrive. What is taken without rest becomes barren. What is overused collapses. The land does not punish, it responds. So too does life. God did not create the world fragile. He created it responsive. When harmony is honored, life flourishes. When harmony is violated, imbalance reveals itself. Even pain serves a purpose. Pain warns, pain teaches boundaries. Pain calls attention to what is broken so it can be healed. A body without pain will destroy itself without knowing. Likewise, a soul without consequence would never mature. Creation is not random movement. It is ordered motion. It is life unfolding according to laws older than humanity and stronger than belief. When people say life is meaningless, they are not describing creation. They are describing disconnection. Meaning does not disappear. It is ignored. God's intention is written into everything that exists.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For help, go to the Alexa app.
Into breath, into blood, into time. Even decay has a role. It returns what was borrowed. It clears space for renewal. It prevents hoarding of existence. Nothing is allowed to remain forever in one form, because permanence in form will destroy balance. This is why creation includes both beginning and ending. Both are acts of mercy. God did not design a world that traps. He designed a world that moves. And movement requires order. Nothing exists outside that order. Not life, not death, not power, not fear. Understanding this removes confusion. It replaces anxiety with clarity. When people see creation as intentional, they stop asking why existence is cruel and begin asking how to live correctly within it. This is the wisdom creation offers to those willing to observe it. God did not create accident. God created order. And order, when understood, becomes peace. This is the truth written into the bones of the world. That's the second truth of the first chapter. So, if you guys heard that, for those that heard the first and second truth, give me some feedback. What do you guys think? Like I said earlier, these books are to be explaining God's creation, the role of Santa Muerte, and the death energy within the entire human experience from beginning to end. It's going to be 13 books. Each book will have 13 chapters. Each chapter will have 8 segments each. We're done with a lot of it. I'm just trying to figure it out. I've been doing this for about 3 to 5 years. I'm not really sure how long it's been. So this has been correction after correction, going back, rewriting. This has been a labor of love, a labor of devotion, a labor of hoping to understand. And every time that I feel I got it right, I kept going back. And because I was evolving spiritually. I'm sorry, I'm getting a cough, I guess. I feel this is my calling. This is why I do what I do. I hope you guys know this is not for trying to get likes on YouTube or TikTok. I don't care about being TikTok famous. I don't care about anything of that. I don't. What I care about is delivering the message that I was supposed to deliver. And I'm gonna deliver it. So whenever it's ready to be sold or whatever, I'm gonna sell it either digitally or I'm trying to do a paperback. But I'm trying to, I guess, not get my works stolen because I've been putting a lot of effort into this, a lot of time and a lot of emotion, a lot of thought. Um, I'm gonna take a break because I'm gonna go get a tea or something, and then I'll come back and do the rest of my live. I still gotta do my readings for tomorrow. Um, my throat. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it really quick. The things I do here are not meant to impress anyone. They're not meant to, elevate me because they're not. I am but a mere fucking vessel. I am a fuse. I am nothing in the big scheme of things. I want to make that clear. I don't want people to think that I come here trying to be, Mr. fucking man. That's not it. I want people to understand that I do this out of love and devotion to Santa Muerte and God. I put a lot of time into this, not because I have to, but because I'm driven to do so. Every day I wake up thinking of things to say, to do, or the information comes to me. I'm not that smart. I'm not that bright. I'm really not that articulate, to be honest with you. I'm a guy that didn't graduate high school, had no higher learning. I didn't graduate junior high. I dropped out in the 7th grade and was forced to go back to high school and got kicked out of that shit. So I'm not a guy that's educated. I'm not that I'm not that guy. I'm not a learned man per se. That's why I think it's amazing that I could utter this without it just comes to me. I'm not that outgoing. I'm quiet. I'm reserved. I don't go out. I don't worry about friends or acquaintances. I stick in my lane. I see my kids. I try to be a decent individual now. I try to be good. I'm not this is not a driving force for to become known or to become wealthy. My driving force is simply to put the word out that God and Santa Muerte should be venerated and respected. I put God above all, and death to me is secondary. That's one thing I want to make clear. I don't want people to think that, I'm just Santa Muerte. No, I understand there's a pecking order in divinity. But there was a time where I felt God was not with me. There was a time where I felt I was abandoned by God. And upon finding La Santa Muerte, the death energy, it brought me closer to him. It made me realize that I had made my own mistakes and I was living with the consequences. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, but it's also okay to correct yourself and find alignment. I know, Jugalu fam, again, like I hope that people understand that I am not perfect at all. I am far from perfect. I am a sinner. I'm stupid. I fight bad habits on a daily basis. I'm going to share something with you guys. Every time I go to the store, I want to steal something. I want to steal because back in the day, I was fucking a 5-finger discount. Everything was stolen. I only say that not to shame myself, but to express that I'm a work in progress still to this day. To me, it's almost like an addiction that I still fight. I wake up trying to be better. I wake up trying to be good. I wake up doing all these things to try to be a better person because I understand now. I understand now. It's not because, here's the thing is, when I go to the store, there's shit I want to take that I could afford. I just rather take it. And that's the wrong thing to do. And I've fought that. And I fight that feeling all the time. There was easier ways for me to make money. There was a lot of things that drew me to it. I liked the gang lifestyle when I was a kid. I was a member of a Sureño gang when and I never really got jumped out. I just left. Thank you, Jay Mula. May be blessed now forever. May Santa Muerte protect you and God guide you. I was never officially jumped out. I was never officially released. I just, I walked away from it because life was calling me to a different direction. So I understand people that suffer the agony of distorted energy, negative energy. And I say this for real. Every time I go to the store, it's in the back of my head. I could just steal this shit. And I know it seems funny or you might think it's shameful, but I don't. And I fight it because I want to be better. I'm trying to improve myself. And I'm only sharing this because I want people to understand that I'm not fucking perfect. I've been arrested. I've done things that I'm not proud of, but they were necessary at the moment in time. I survived how I knew how to survive. I provided the way I knew how to provide. And when you were raised in a certain area, thank you, Jay Mula, be blessed now for Santa Muerte protect you and God guide you. You learn these traits. I was born in East Los Angeles, California. I was raised in Wilmington, California, and I was a product of my environment. I don't blame the environment because I gravitated towards it. The reason I share this today is because I want people to understand that there is a road to redemption. There is salvation. There is a second chance for your soul. And I'm going to tell you this wholeheartedly. If you're hungry, if you're starving, if you have kids to feed, it's okay to steal to keep your fucking gut full. There's no shame in that. I'm going to say this right now openly. If you are hungry, if you are starving, if you have children, I would do the same thing. I would steal for them. So there's certain balances, justice, good, right, wrong. You got to learn to be like, if you steal because you want to just get something that you don't need, that's wrong. If you steal to be a provider and feed children or yourself, that's okay. It's not shameful. That's what devotion has taught me. There's good things, there's bad things, and there's human law and then spiritual law. We have to learn to travel that sort of road and balance it all out. Again, I never claim to be a saint. I'm not a priest. I'm not a fucking monk. I'm just somebody that feels very driven towards spirituality and spiritual work. I've had many kinds of jobs in my life. I was a thug when I was a kid. I became a businessman because I had money to open businesses. Then I got into real estate and mortgage. Then I became a financial advisor. My life has taken me everywhere. I've seen the good in the alleys and the bad of white collar fucking society. I've seen the good and bad on the streets and the good and bad in the corporate fucking offices. I'm gonna tell you, those people that are white collar are bigger criminals than the fools in the streets. That's what I learned. They just do it differently. So the reason I'm saying all this is because I want you guys to understand that these Bibles and these books and these chapters are coming from somewhere deep, deep inside of my heart and my soul, but it's being transferred through some other energy because I'm not that articulate. I'm not that fucking smart. I'm not that fucking deep, I think. When I turn this off and I just go relax, I like to go play Fortnite with my son. I like to play with my boy handball. I like to go places with my son to eat. I like to go with my children. I'm a simple motherfucker. I'll be happy with a burger, a taco, my kids, and I'm good. But something calls me to complicate my life doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you guys understand that I'm being honest right now, that I'm not here for likes. I'm not here for a fan base. I'm here to bring her to you. I'm here to bring her to those that need it. I'm not here for personal gains. Do I try to feed my family? Fuck yeah, I do. Do I got to pay my mortgage? Fuck yeah. I don't even got a car. I borrowed a car from my mom because my shit got repoed. You know what I mean? This is how I live. I gave myself to spirituality and it's been rough. So that's why, I'm doing these things, trying to make a little bit more cash so I could pay my mortgage, have food for my kids, and I want to buy a fucking car or a truck or some shit. So I hope you guys understand that it's just not meant to be, I don't want to be a millionaire, but I want to be all right. You know what I'm saying? So again, when I tell you guys, if you can support this mission, I want to make this a church for her and God. I want it to be a full-fledged spiritual religion. Not a religion in the Catholic sense, but a religion that is truly spiritual. I want to do that one day. And I need support. I need help. And I appreciate every one of you that has been with me through thick and thin, has sent me donations, hired me to do work. I appreciate it so much. And I'm going to be thankful always. And this is me being as transparent as possible. I used to do all the trabajos for free until I couldn't do it no more. And when I did my works for free, people would come to me. The moment I started charging people, they started to go elsewhere. I don't know if that makes me feel sad or fuck it, at least I got rid of the people that were using me. But understand this, if I could do this and not charge anybody, I would. But unfortunately, I do got bills. I got children and I like to eat. So it's not meant to sound like I'm asking for a handout. But if you like what I do, then support this. Consider this your church. All right. Thank you so much. Love you all. I'll be back. I'm gonna rest because my voice is tripping. All right, everybody. Love ya. Bye.